What's up, y'all? Let me make sure everything is good. Boom. Let's see. Let's make sure the live good. Let's make sure the sound good. Let's make sure everything is what it needs to be. Okay. I'm getting YouTube notifications. We got Facebook notifications. That's what's up. I think we good to go. Let's see. Make sure my head straight. I don't want nobody else gang banging on my live. You know? Boom. There we go. We live. We tapped in. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I'm waiting on Scarb to tap in, y'all. This is usually I reach out to people. Every now and then people reach out to me. Um, it don't always make for a good interview. Some people they want to get on here just to say that they got on here and call in a favor for a favor or do something crazy. But Scar reached out to me about a week ago and said, "Man, it's been a while since we tapped in. We need to tap in." And I'm not missing a chance to talk to Scarb, y'all. It was at a point in time when I was vying for a position in the Detroit hip hop world, and Scarb and Uncle P they gave me opportunities that other people didn't allot for me. If you are not familiar with me and my journey in music, and we are getting back to the music, I know y'all tired of hearing me say that, but we working. I got a bunch of beats from Nep, and we working, and we gonna get some things done. And we have a lot of material, but is everything has to be of a certain level, especially at the level that we at and the bar that we've set. So about a week ago, Scar reached out to me. He said, "Man, we got to jump on the live." I think I did a live, and I was talking about P Dot and Mo and what they had going on. And Scar realized that I'm still JP. Like I still have an opinion. I think people see me do the business posts and the business lives and business content, and they don't realize I'm still a person. Like I'm still me. And even though I try to limit the messiness in the business content, things like that, I'm still me, y'all. I still have an opinion, and my opinion still matters to some people. Not to everybody, but it never did. But to some people, the things that I have to say, they still resonate a little bit or a lot. So I try to give the people what they want per se. So I sent B-Scarb the link. I was about 5 minutes behind what I said I was. My kids didn't make it to school today. They had something else going on. And I was like, man, I got to get them something to eat before I jump on this live. Because even though in my mind, this may only be 45 minutes to an hour, if Scarb get on here and we get to kicking it, it may turn into 2 hours. And I don't want my kids bugging me to death about something to eat. That's not good parenting. I don't want people to say I'm Brian McKnighting my kids and disowning them or neglecting them. That's how people treating Brian McKnight right now. I made the post and people on the post like you a field nigga, you this, you that. And what people gotta realize is I have my own opinion. If somebody in your family is not holding their weight, if they we family is family. The kids may need things. They may need you to co-sign for things. They may need you to shack them up for a while. But if your kids are not going out and trying to do anything on their own, then you have a problem. And that's my opinion. So let's see what Scarb talking about, y'all. Let's add Scarb to the scene. Let's see what Scarb talking about. What's up, Scarb? Spartan gear, go green.
What up, man? I missed your intro, brother.
Nah, I was just talking about how how you and I have a pretty good history. And I was saying that I've done so much business content and so many other things online that some people probably like, man, JP ain't JP, but I'm still me. I did a live and you was like, dang, JP still good entertainment.
Word, word.
Nah, that was pretty much it, man. I was just saying that you and Uncle P, opened up some doors for me, gave me good opportunity. I didn't even say that we co-executive produced the project. We've done pretty good business, even at the height of where people thought it was some kind of issue. I ain't never had no issue with you or Uncle P, um, to say that. So,
I don't. I don't. So with that part, that last part you just said, I don't think I ever heard that one. So you got.
well, when I was going, when I had my whatever I had about the hip hop thing, it was, it was, oh,
Oh
you
yeah,
know,
we
he
sat
left here.
down. We sat down on
Yeah,
that one though.
yeah, definitely. No, most definitely, most definitely.
Yeah, we
As
sat down on that one.
as me and should.
Well, that's kind of like I said. When you was speaking on what you were speaking on a couple weeks ago, which was going on with the fam with Dot and Mo and all that, it kind of like just put me in the headspace. Even what you just brought up with the Underground Hip Hop Awards, I think one of the main issues that hold us back, um, as a music community in the city, there's no definition to ascension. Like everybody kind of self champion and decide at what point they feel like they're graduating from one level to the next. And being a student of the culture, documentaries, podcasts, all of the content that's available that we can all access, books, audio books, etc. You meet people along the way, as you were saying, with it all starting in the Mecca. It's certain rules of engagement with anything that you do. Sports, corporate America, you and I both got degrees. When you go to school, you got to take your core classes, your prereqs, your electives. So why is hip hop rap any different? There's certain things that you got to do, in my opinion, and in a lot of people's opinion, to go from one level to the next. And I think that's what has hurt Detroit, that those things haven't been clearly defined by our forefathers here in the city, going back to the 80s to the 90s, and making sure that each group coming up understood, okay, this the rules of engagement if you want to get outside and do this thing. I've been fortunate to meet some people and be around some people, so I've gotten educated on the record pool meetings back in the day with Tyrone Bradley and LaRock, and how the DJ stuff was going on back then, and how it kind of fragmented to what we know today. The radio situation historically with FM 98, now iHeart own, and just the politics that came with that. The birth of Hot 1075 back when it used to be 105.9 jams, the open mic scene and local showcase scene from all the different spots around the city, primarily, which gets a lot of attention as far as the historical hip hop shop and the depiction, all of that, in 8 Mile with St. Andrews and whatnot. So we have those things, but unfortunately, as history has progressed, certain things have come and gone, certain things have fell off. And it's like the wild, wild west now because of the internet. Around the time that you and I was coming in, if you wanted to get your music out, you had to go through Press Play. They had a spot in Southfield at Northland,
Hmm.
a spot, at Fairlane, spot on the east side at Eastland. There was a few other local mom and pops that was still moving and grooving around, but Press Play was the primary place to get your music out. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to them guys, J Success and all them. I don't know what
Jay,
they
my
doing
guy.
currently now. Yeah, I don't
Jay,
know what
my
they
guy.
doing currently.
I talk to Jay kinda regularly.
Okay.
Jay, my guy. Yeah, yeah. Jay, my guy. Good people.
Yeah, I don't know what he got going on now, but that was, the entry point back in the day in terms of
Yeah,
you getting outside and getting your music heard and advertising with them, distributing your music with them. And if it wasn't there, it wasn't popping. You know what I'm saying? So
hmm,
that, I guess, is what I kind of wanted to kick you with you about, and doing this live, hopefully to help educate and inspire other people, you know what I'm saying, just to get back to the basics of like just doing good business behind your music. And as we know in this game, as you get in it, it's 90% business, 10% talent, unfortunately. And you don't find that until you start to go through some trial and errors and
yep,
make some mistakes along the way. But that's really what the game is about. So, and I know with us, what kind of connected us together was me, noticing how you was moving. You was one of the few artists that had their own direct to consumer 10 years ago, because you had your website set up. You was getting your music through your website. You was getting your music out the trunk. You know what I'm saying? You was doing your own promo tours back then. like that's kind of what brought me to you because you was one of the few people that I felt like, okay, this person understand it. It ain't just about hopping on stage and performing. You actually trying to build fan bases. You actually trying to make connections and build a pipeline for the city to other markets. Like arguably, you know what I'm saying, you was one of the people that was laying that foundation early for Detroit. If you want to, you know, if you want to pop on that level, you was one of
No,
the early people that was outside. Like before
definitely.
cats was even thought about hitting the road, a lot of people was afraid to get on the road. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So I know you took Jovi out there with you. I know you took PA out there with you, a few other people, just to
Yeah,
mention. So
yeah. Jovi,
like I said,
Jovi. I like to be clear. Jovi was in Ohio, and we just ended up doing dates in Ohio.
okay,
But yeah, so I don't want to. I always want to give credit. Jovi, my guy. I love Jovi. So and I want to thank y'all for introducing me to Jovi music because I didn't
okay.
know who Jovi was until I started coming around in the hip hop awards and everything. But with the tours, um, to be clear, I haven't spoke on this much publicly, but I watched something where Dogface. Were you familiar that Dogface used to manage me?
Yeah, he told me that recently. I want to say like within the last 2 years. I didn't know that because
Yeah,
you know, Dogface just like us didn't had
yeah,
his hand in like several different things.
yeah,
You know, trying
yeah.
to come up. So I didn't know that you was one of the people that he had ties to early on. Like I
Definitely,
knew you
Dogface.
know, from other situations.
Yeah, Dogface reached out to me like fresh out the state joint. Him and Maniac. Maniac got the
Okay.
BS and then doing a whole bunch of all other stuff. But Dogface was actually like, "Come here, I want to get you on some songs. Let's go do this. We gonna put you on the show." So Dogface, I always give him credit where credit due. Dogface be doing a little bit of everything now, but I always give Dogface credit where credit due. Dogface is one of the first people that like reached out to me and was like, "Bro, you cold? Come get in the studio. I'm gonna put you in here with the right people. We gonna make some moves." And we started to do that, but I felt like I was getting some heat. He had so much going on, and I was like, these ain't my problems. You know what I'm saying? With certain people that I was actually okay with too. But I seen an interview and he was on the porch and he was like, even though I put JP1 on the road, Dogface did manage me, but I put myself on the road. So that's why I wanted to clear it up with Joey. No, he did. He managed me before. He did. I give him his credit. He did manage me before and give me some decent looks. But I went and spent my own money to go on the road. First with Big Hef. Shout out to Big Hef, Midwest like juggernaut when it come to rap and hip hop. He a A&R. At the time he was an A&R for Def Jam. Now I think he with another label. But Big Hef was the first person that took me on the road. And I got connected with him through the twins. I don't know if you're familiar with the College of Hip Hop twins.
Yeah, everybody you naming, these are some of the
Yeah,
same pipelines of people when you start talking about trying to break out of the city
most
and,
definitely.
and go throughout the Midwest. And
Yeah,
even with Hef, like, you know, I remember when Hef used to do the Detroit stop at the old Miami. He did a couple at the Bullfrog back in the day for the Big Hef industry tour.
yep,
And Kills, you know, shout out to Kills, run around
yep,
with P and whatnot. He was kind of like the Detroit host for that whenever they would come back in the day. And this is around maybe a little bit before after they started doing the blue collar gentleman situation that I know you was a part of
definitely.
at old Miami too. But that's my point. It's like these were opportunities and situations and the names you name in Big Hef, College of Hip Hop, you know, Face, a couple other people that was trying to help people get out of the city and get it on the road and try to establish yourself in these other markets and build from there. But a lot of people was afraid to, you know, one, I think the primary thing we got to address is the budget aspect. Like, you got to
Mhm.
invest in yourself. And I know with a lot of people I worked with over the years, there's a difference between what I would call like bill paying investment and like really believing in your self investment. What I mean by bill paying investment, like 250 here, 500 here, 1,000 here. You can get some stuff done like that. Don't get me
Yeah,
wrong, but the time it takes to deal and execute off a budget like that versus you spending 1,000 here, 1,500 here, 2 grand here, 2,500 here. That's the type of money that you got to really spend starting out
hmm,
to really see your stuff connect and impact and have traction. And
definitely.
having that conversation with somebody who has a dreamer mindset more so than an entrepreneurial mindset is like oil and water because it's like, well, I got the talent, based on things that I've seen and I've heard and I know about. I'm looking for somebody to put me on. Like if I bring the
Yep.
talent to the table, you put the bag up, we figure out the relationships and resources from there. But it's like, okay, if this person's putting a bag up, they got to get a return on that. They're not just putting a bag up because they want to be nice. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Most definitely.
it's got to make sense. And then it's
Yeah.
like, well, with music, it's a crapshoot because you don't know what record gonna work or not gonna work. You don't know what artist gonna work or not gonna work because we've seen some artists who's had bags. We've seen some artists who's had quote unquote talent, but for some reason they just couldn't connect. And they still, doing what they're doing, still running around, doing other things, but everybody can't go. It's a reason why, it's only certain people that make it, and truly make it. When you think of like an Eminem level, Big Sean level, whatever, for every person we can name like that, it's a million other people who had similar talent that
Hmm.
we don't know that never made it that far because it's not just the talent, you know what I'm saying? It's all the other intangible pieces that go around it. So, like I
Definitely.
said, that conversation and just seeing that dialogue back and forth a couple weeks ago about, the platform saying, okay, I gave you opportunity, wasn't nobody on your music prior to me giving you this opportunity. Then the artist saying, well, hey, you did play whatever role at a certain point, but I did all these other things
Definitely.
beyond your platform that helped put myself in a certain situation. There is a juxtaposition on both sides, but it's like, okay, there's difference in platforms, just like it's differences in artists. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? So how do you? I guess that was my question to you, being like in tune with all sides of it. Being on the business side at one point, being an artist, being a promoter. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
Being somebody that now provides services. How do you, in your mind, feel like it's a fair way to quantify? Okay, this is this and this is that, but these two are not the same thing. When you talk about platform levels and like I said, the art is kind of going up a level because everybody think like underground is all the same, and it's like it's not.
Definitely not.
Different.
So what I found out pretty early was um talent don't really it didn't really cut it, right? Talent didn't really cut it. So when I first came home, I'm not a younger guy. So I'm even though I'm a new artist, because I've been gone so long and I'm just hitting the scene, I'm not a 20-year-old artist. I'm 27. So my
Right,
thought process is different as I'm moving around. And let's say somebody like Herc give me advice. Herc say, the music good, you got to tighten up on the mixing and mastering. I'm not young and feeling like, man, this old nigga hating on me. You right?
right,
I'm like, okay, this Big Herc. Big Herc said, let me tighten up. Right. So this just my processes was different, even with what I said about Dogface, about the issues he was having with different people whenever, and it was just like that. That's not something that a young guy would consider. But at this time, I'm seasoned, even though I'm a new artist. So different little things kind of like it caught me kind of quick. As I'm shopping my music around, I'm bumping into things like, well, we charge this much money for this. Well, we charge X, Y, and Z for this. So I'm like, dang, it take money. So I found me
right,
somebody we all is in the streets. So I found me somebody that had a couple dollars and he said, Jackpot, I've been rocking with you since we were kids. I'm gonna put this bread up. And we spent a little money and we seen a little bit of traction. Like we did XMG and then By Any Means Entertainment together. And I seen a little bit of traction. And I was like, okay, well, if we put more money, we can get more traction. And I did have bad like the tour of the streets was a bad investment where I spent a few $100s to do these shows and barely got the shows. So I was bumping my head and taking my lumps. Boom. And I'm just bouncing back. Like that's cool. I might say something on Facebook. I'm getting the bare end of the open mic shows. Me and Keels had issues before we got tight, where I'm calling people out. And that's what I became known for. Like, bro, you on trash. So anyway, I'm taking my lumps, but I'm not taking my lumps like a young guy. I'm taking my lumps like a seasoned veteran and saying, okay, I'm gonna learn from this. Okay, I'm gonna do this. Okay, I'm gonna do that. So now as I'm learning, I'm incorporating. So as I'm doing shows, I'm realizing talent does make a better show. So I'm not allowing everybody on my show. right? I'm just saying I'm the way I'm learning is at a is exponential growth. It's not like layer by layer. I'm literally like, okay, bam, this show kind of trash, people leaving. But if I get 7 dope artists, I don't need 15 nobodies. Now I'm
Right.
watching other things. Let me watch and make sure they got a following. Let me see how many people they bring to the club. Let me see if they doing videos. Let me see if they actually got projects. So I'm doing different as I'm learning as an artist, I'm learning as a promoter.
Right.
Like that's what I'm saying. Everything coming like that. So where people seen me make so much progress in that amount of time, and even with the shows, I got on a road. Like you say, it's about money. I'm heavy in the streets, so my money was different. I didn't mind if Hef said he wanted 3 grand for something, I paid 3 grand. I had a PR guy out of California, and me and him still all right. He actually reached out to me recently because he run like another company, another music company. But I reached out to the dude. Somebody ended up connecting us, and he wanted 5,000 to work an album and like 3,000 to work a single. So he worked Fire and Brimstone too. So I paid him. I got different placements.
Pardon me. I jump right there.
Yeah.
So you just named some sizable numbers. You said three with Hef. You said five, 3 to 5 with this guy, give or
Hmm.
take 5 to 10 with that guy that you spent between the album and the single. And then
Hmm.
you said before you even got off the porch, you hollered at one of your peoples in the street who basically you had a strategic partnership with. Y'all came together.
Yep.
He put the bread up, you put your bread up, but you did a lot of the footwork. So
Yep.
you had that situation. Just to have the mindset and the ingenuity before you even jumped outside, you knew up front you had to have some level of money.
Yeah.
Like I can't tell you how many people come to the open mic first, just in my experience, with they hard drive, I mean they jump drive or they CD to perform, and they might have they CDs they might have pressed up on their own, but they're coming there first to see who they can latch or attach to versus the mindset that you had where day one you coming in, you like, okay, I got at least 5, 10 grand saved up. Now let me figure out what to do. Like I just people start with the talent first and the money second. When you came in, money first, talent second. Like what who gave you game or like what like how did you come in with that mindset? Like where did you get that from?
No, I really didn't. I came in talent first. I mean, I came to the
Right.
open mics. I'm just saying I learned fast.
Okay,
I,
okay,
I
okay.
definitely was at the open mics and even the issue with Kills. I went in Kills. I never talk about everything, but I'm gonna talk about everything we hear. So what happened was I'm doing these open mics. I didn't even have a car. So
Okay.
my brother them just taking me to open mics, man. I got $5 white tees on. I just want to go out and rap. Well, I'm just being honest, bro. That's why
You
when
keep
when
it
when
keep
bro was
it
saying what he was saying, I said I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear you don't have nothing to wear. It's showing me a lack of commitment because I was out there in white tees and a gas station hat if it took that. Whatever it took to get on stage, I'm gonna go get on stage. I'm fresh out the joint. I just want to rock. So I'm rocking, I'm rocking. So I did have the belief that me being dope was gonna open doors for me initially.
real. Okay, okay.
But what I'm saying is, as certain things start to happen, like I said with Kills, I go do the show, boom. Kills don't put me on the stage. I'm there first because I don't got to ride. My people dropping me off, like, bro, we gonna come back in a couple hours. I'm getting there at 9 o'clock, signing the list. I'm the second person on the list, and I'm like, dog, it's 11:30, 12. I'm like, dude, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? My ride ready to leave. They drunk,
Right,
high.
right.
You know what I'm saying? So I go up there, and he like, man, you one artist down, whatever. So that was about 12, about one something, two, three more people that went up there. I say, my dog must think I'm soft. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm still a street dude. So I'm like, dog, you playing me, all you got is your word. So it was the same thing with News Doppler. So I ended up doing doing the performance or whatever, and I ended up leaving. I didn't even do the performance that night. Like one something, he was like, "Bro, you up next?" I'm like, "Bro, you can have it. I've been here all night. It's 1:30. People leaving." So I bounced, and he posted something and tagged me online. Was like, "Hey, we doing this such and such, such and such." And I responded by, "Look, man, I want to battle you. I don't even care about on everything I love." That's how I ended up. I told him flat out, "I want to battle you." He like, "Dog, who are you?" So I'm like, for real, he was confused. Like, "Dog, who are you?" So I sent them a link to one of my projects. I had put out a project, and he like, "Dog, this you?" I'm like, "Yeah." He like, damn dog, you cold. I'm about to do a such and such tour. This one he was working with Hef and all that. And he was like, man, I want to take you on the road. That fast, me and him developed a relationship. He said, I want you to spotlight. This when I'm start learning the game now. Okay, if I can get the spotlight, him, Gucci Ree, and News Doppler ended up breaking it down to me because I cut into him one night at a club. He like, man, come. I say, dog, I was at your last show. You did it. He say, bro, look, man, certain people come in, they throw me $40, $50 to jump on stage. He breaking everything down to me. I'm like, oh, I don't
Giving you the
know.
hustle, giving you
He
the
giving me
hustle.
the hustle. I don't know. He like, this is what's going on, this and that. So anyway, I'm learning so fast because I'm like I said, I'm older and I'm soaking up the game as I'm getting it. So I did come in like I'm about to rap. And it was doors getting closed on me that made me realize, bro, you can rap your ass off, but they want their bread. You know what
Bingo.
I'm saying? People want their bread, and you got to respect that because people build their platforms. So even with Jay, you know what I'm saying? Jay, my guy. I talked to Jay, me and Jay cool, but I went on TV and said something about Jay and got my respect. One thing about it, I'm not gonna lie on anybody. So Jay
Right.
owed me some money at the time. It might have been a couple $100s or something. I said it on TV. I said it ain't thousands of dollars, but it's my money. I left a project or two up there, and Jadam did something. When I came back, all my CDs were gone, but they didn't have no money. I
Right.
said, I don't know how y'all usually do it, but this how I do it. You know what I'm saying? And Jay literally see me on TV. Jay called me. He said, Jackpot man, come up to the store. And me and Jay been rocking ever since. But I learned that people, I don't gotta slander people, but if we do bad business, the same thing with the twins. I'm telling you, I took my lumps. The twins put me with Hef, but the twins, like you being a manager, I'm giving the twins $1,000 a month for PR. I'm paying them $1,000 a month. I'm giving the twins $1,000 a month. They hook me up with Big Hef. When they hook me up with Big Hef, I go on the road and realize they doubled up on me on the payment. So not only did I give them the money, they ended up taxing me to more than what Big Hef was charging. And instead of me, getting like, dog, y'all tripping, I say, look, dog, we gonna sever ties. This the last month. I'm good on y'all
Right.
because I'm paying y'all to make these connections. Why would you take a $1,500 opportunity and turn it into a $3,000 opportunity? Just throwing out a number, but just in general, why would you
Yeah,
do
but
that?
that's the hustle. That's so this is where it get weird for me. And I know you understand this very well because your background. Because of the way hip hop started out, it coming from street culture, unfortunately, in the business of music, there's like street elements as far as like street business practices that people try to employ in the music business, but they do it selectively.
Hmm.
So as long as it's a situation where they can control it or it benefits them, it's cool. But if when it's in a situation where they are being held accountable or being obligated to keep something on that, then it's not cool.
Hmm.
And then when you decide to try to enact street justice, it becomes a whole different ball game, and you get what you got going on now. And it's just a lot of glorification of like street politics in the space that's supposed to be about music and entertainment, and it don't have nothing to do with that. So like, case in point, the double up, you know what I'm saying? That's just a street rule. You know what I'm saying? If I'm introducing you to my mans and we putting you on, I want a little tax just because I put you on with my man. Some people abide by that, some people don't.
Yeah.
But that's where that come from. You know what I'm saying? So it's
Ha-
like when you get in the music business, it's like if they would have told you up front, like, look, we got a consultant fee, you know what I'm saying? For any resources that we connect you with in our network or any services we provide, we gonna charge you X amount of dollars, this, that, and the third. So that way you know up front, I'm making the choice to pay them for X, Y, and Z. Versus them saying, okay, I could get you
Mhm.
whatever, and then you find out on the back end that it's something else, and then the lines get blurred. But you know what I'm saying? It get weird. It
when
get
I
murky.
say, but when I say the double up is this is how my context of it is. I'm paying you already to make these connections,
Right.
right? I'm paying you $1,000 a month to make these connections. So if you get, so this is how I look at it. If I'm paying you $1,000 a month, let's say I know everybody want money.
Right.
I wasn't tripping on that. You know what I'm saying? I know that Vlad. I got on Vlad. I paid Vlad. I paid Vlad $2,000 when I did a Vlad interview. So I'm telling you, I already in my understanding, the first people that gave me that understanding was World Star. I
Okay.
reached out to World Star. I was excited. I said, yo, I'm a dope rapper from Detroit. I'm thinking World Star, a street platform. I say, yo, I'm fresh out the joint. Listen to this shit. You know what I'm saying? And
The
World Star
straight,
sent me they
the,
sent me
the
their
straight,
price
the
list
straight
back.
ghetto, the ghetto pitch, the
They
straight
sent
ghetto
me their
pitch.
price list back. They say, yeah, bro, that's cute, but we charge 750 for a regular video, 1500 for the second for the top, where's the two, and then it was like 3000 for the premiere, the big thing. They sent me a whole price list back. It was sweet too. And I was like, oh, this how they work. So the next video I shot, I went and sent them 750. You know what I'm saying? I didn't even have a credit card or nothing then. I remember going to get a green dot. Cause they like
Okay.
you need to send it X Y this way, but I went and got a green dot from CVS and paid them they 750. It was like 758 or something. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So they were the first people that made me realize they don't care if you can rap, they don't care if the video dope. And I said, look, I'm gonna go throw some girls in this video for World Star, and that's how We Winning came about. I
Right.
shot We Winning for World Star and for the radio because DJ BJ say, Jackpot, you keep giving me mixtape songs. This is what DJ BJ tell me. He like he played one he loved open, and it was the Roots and Erica Badu remake. He loved that. He played that regularly. I never gave DJ BJ solid. I never gave DJ BJ money for him to play anything of mine on the radio. DJ BJ had mixtape slots. I did buy a mixtape slot, and when he listened to the song, he called me. He said, "Jackpot, this cold. I gotta play it. I'm gonna play it Saturday." And that's how I got on the radio with DJ BJ. Other people I didn't pay. You know my guy down there now. I send him music when I feel like it. At Hot 1075. You know, that's my guy down there. So I'm gonna go into some of that because me and him ain't fell out, but I kind of fell out with 1075. I took my niece up there earlier in the summer. I got my niece named Vay Vanilla.
Okay.
So I took Vay up there earlier in the summer. And they love that. You know, Vay got a big old following on social media.
Yeah, I know
And
she was running around with Joseph and them for a minute.
Joseph. So, you know, I had my issues with Joseph. So I had to help her get out of contract with Joseph. So I did that soon as I came home. I think I was still on Tether. And she called me and she was like, Jackpot, I'm in this BS contract and X, Y, and Z. And we had to go get a lawyer, me and her daddy. Well, once the lawyer came in there, I kind of fell back because he was, you know, he like Jackpot, you know, we got this far. Let's go ahead and close the door. But she got out that contract with Joseph. But that's my niece. So um I took her up there and it was everything was good, but I was trying to get my little brother in there. They call him Flex, DJ Flex. You know, DJ Flex my guy. So
Okay.
DJ, yeah, I'll be around the city, bro. Even now I be quiet, but I went and took Flex up to 1075 and tried to get Flex to be a DJ up there.
Gotcha.
Flex is the biggest DJ in the city right now. They can
Right.
say what
Yeah.
they want. Listen, bro, they don't see the vision. I took Flex up there. They did the interview. We got everything. We got it up to the office, and they dropped the ball. They dropped the ball with Flex, and I'm like, dude, Flex is the biggest DJ in the city right now. He young. He killing social media. Everything popping. You know, I knew Flex when his pops was running him around and he was rapping. So I
Yeah, I
got
remember
Flex.
Flex back in the day when he was
Yeah,
rapping.
yeah. I got Flex like some of his first paid money. So his daddy, like, you know, roll with dog. And me and Flex still good. I just talked to him, like personally kick it with Flex. But I take Flex up there and they drop the ball. When I say I totally was like, dang, because y'all got DJ Los, not the original DJ Los. That's my guy. I love DJ Los. But that other DJ Los, trash. So trash. One of the worst DJs in the world. Y'all got DJ Los up here and y'all gonna drop the ball on Flex. Flex, the hottest in the city. So I'm like, dog, y'all tripping. So that's kind of turned me off. When you see me fall back from music, it's a lot going on to where I'm like in the background, I'm doing stuff. I get certain phone calls and certain things. Like what Joseph did to my niece was trash. He tried to like, man, I ain't even gonna go into it, man. It was a bunch about a necklace. It was so much stuff. And I'm like, dude, this a young lady that you just taking advantage of.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to go to where it go to something else, but you taking advantage of my family.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And luckily, we worked it out. I mean, everything got worked out, but it be a lot going on, Scar. I just been staying offline trying to,
I mean, same
you know what
here.
I'm saying?
Same here.
You know what I'm
We've had our conversations offline.
saying? Yeah.
I had conversations every now and again with Face, every now and again. You know,
Yeah,
I talk to Floss. Shout out to Crane. Crane will call me every now and again from the road. He out there doing his
yeah,
truck
he
stuff, his
trucking.
cigar bar stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's like most of the relationships that I started out with to this day are very much still intact. You know what I'm saying? For the people that it was real, business activity going on, real dealings, real money was made.
Hmm.
All those ties still to this day. But just even listening to what you breaking down again, like you talking about the different corners and levels you had to go through in order to get your brand to where it was, prior to you going away. You know what I'm saying? Me and you
Yeah.
had linked and locked in real heavy right before you went away. And we didn't get a chance to finish a lot of the stuff we had planned. But that, like I said, listening to that back and forth from a couple of weeks ago, that just put it on my mind. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, like I feel like if we had more structure to where people know, like, okay, at this point, I go get radio. At this point, I should be
Hmm.
performing. At this point, I should hit the road. At this point, I should do this. 'Cause I think a lot of it just be frustration because they don't know which way to go. And to your point, the few people that may be in the immediacy that of access, people be getting down. You know what I'm saying? It is people out here who take people money and don't really teach them the game, or take their money and don't even deliver on the opportunity they said they was going to deliver on. So unfortunately, you just get a lot of jaded energy because you had one bad manager, you think all managers bad. You had one issue with a videographer or producer, you
Hmm.
write everybody off. So now we like in this age of a lot of DIY where everybody going and getting their own setups at the crib, trying to self-engineer, self-produce, self-podcast, because they don't want to spend money with nobody because they're afraid of somebody getting down on them. So I guess on that perspective, how did you get better with your temperament and picking and choosing how to give somebody a fair shot, even if you might have had a bad experience with another person?
I give everybody the benefit of the doubt. Even like even with Dogface. Right now, Dogface going through something with Jay O'Neal. Jay O'Neal, one of my guys too. You know what I'm saying? Like Jay O'Neal, Bodie is Jay O'Neal cousin. I don't know if people familiar, but Bodie my guy. So it's like certain things where that's what I mean. Like I wouldn't mind jumping on a podcast with Dogface. But it's like you going at my dog, and me and Dog got more of a personal relationship than me and Dogface. You see what I'm saying? So it's so much politics in the city that it kind of make me fall back. This is the first time where I even spoke on that in particular. You know what I'm saying? Because me and Jay got a more of a like me. Jay was never my manager, but Jay my man's. You know what I'm saying? I might talk to Jay tomorrow. He might call me. We got other people that we've dealt with. These are guys that I've dealt with like in the streets, and I know certain guys from the streets where I know Dogface from music.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? I met Bodie in the streets. I didn't meet Bodie and say, let's do a song. Like I meet certain people doing certain things and it's a different connection. You see what I'm saying? So the Detroit thing gets so it's so close to home. And even with me, people always think, oh, jackpot, because the people that know me know Jackpot rap, but Jackpot is over here. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like Jay, even if I met Jay in the studio, Jay not gonna be like, yeah, the Jackpot the rapper. He gonna be like, no, you mean dog? Like, it's certain guys that be like, you got a different personality. So I had to learn to separate the two in order for me to move how I had to move. So that and it was times where y'all seen flashes of like, dog, y'all tripping. Where like people, shot at my family, maniac shot at my family. So certain things you gotta learn how to separate it and still be like, we gonna move on respect. So even with
Right.
what you said about the twins, it ain't about streets or not streets, it's just about respect. I'm paying you in a certain capacity, you should behave in a certain capacity,
No,
right?
I was just saying like the methodology. I'm not saying that they made a conscious decision to do that. I'm just
Yeah.
saying that methodology inherently that's where that come from, and I was just using that as an example because you had mentioned it. Like
No,
it's a
I
lot
got
of
it.
a lot of business acumen that morphs
Yeah,
over
no,
into the
I
music.
definitely got it. I'm saying I don't know them personally, but I'm saying for the most part, anybody in the streets, I've been in the streets, and it's
Right,
still in the streets. It's a level of respect. That's all I'm
right.
saying. You got a certain movements, and you got a dude that do that. You gonna call him a slime ball. You see what I'm saying? I'm saying it can get done. I'm just saying I'm not saying that everybody in the streets move accordingly, but if they do that, then you're gonna have people say, You a slime ball. I got a guy that's one of the BMF dudes. He BMF gangster, right? This a guy that knew me when I was 18, 19. We jump on a live um with Manda. Manda K got something going on TikTok. So we jump on there. As soon as I jump on there, he say, Jackpot, you the realest nigga I know, man. I ain't never heard. This is somebody that seen me in prison, know me from the streets, know me from music. He around guys that watch me grew up. I believe everything is about respect. So if you see me almost crash out, is because my respect was not handled a certain way. You see what I'm saying? So
Yeah, we've had our
and
conversations where I done stopped
that
you a couple times for crashing out. I'm like, hey
yeah,
man,
yeah, it's just respect. That's
that shit
all
ain't
it's
worth
about.
it, bro.
Yeah, it's all about respect, right? That's it. It don't matter if it's music. The thing with Joe was kind of personal because that is my niece. You see what I'm saying? That was a little more like this kind of crazy. And congratulations to my niece. She about to have her first baby. But I'm just saying that was a little more personal because she literally don't call me for anything. Like she don't ask me something. The only calls I got was that call and the radio station thing. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
she's trying
saying?
to get it on her own, and that's respect to her
Yeah.
for being that way.
I look over contracts after she already decided she want to sign them. Like she do send me contracts like, can you make sure this is straight? I'm like, dog, you just signed it already. You know what I'm saying? So she do reach out and I love her, but she do reach out. But I'm just saying everything respect. That's it. So it's not I don't separate it. That's what I'm trying to say. So when I see people moving a certain way, doing music stuff, I treat it like the streets because I understand that the line is blurred.
Hmm.
And if you doing slime ball stuff in the music business, you probably doing slime ball stuff in the streets. And I don't want to be nowhere near that. I got a homie that we went out one night, he died, he got killed in front of the school the next morning because he was on what he was on. I know what he was on, but when I'm out with him, I'm behaving a certain way. Dang, I gotta watch these because I know what he on. So when I'm dealing with music business people, I don't want to be tied to your name and your name is mud, and then people don't want to deal with me. You got people that was and not to go back, but that was what was turning into something with Gov. Where it was so interconnected that anything that looked a little funny his way, it was like shedding some kind of funniness on me. And I'm like, nah, bro, I'm me. I'm genuinely me. Right? I'm genuinely me, no matter what. And that's all I was saying. Let's cut some ties respectfully. No beef, no nothing. And that bled over to something else. And that kind of jaded me with that Sunny Cartel. The same type of thing happened over there, and different things with Super MC. I was getting in beefs and didn't know it. I didn't know I had a beef with Super MC. Like I didn't know the Highland Park guys had a beef with me. Like I'm telling you, my music stuff was weird. But I'm like, dude, I'm just cooling. Like I didn't know I had a beef, but they were mad because Dogface got me the first single for the Proof album.
Yeah,
It's
and then
just
you get
it was so weird. I'm like, dog, I don't know. I'm getting out of jail. He just said, come jump on the song.
and
Like,
that's why I'm saying it get weird because, like I said, I think it all comes from a fight or flight mindset. Like
yeah,
you got people that's been doing music their whole life. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah,
in my own journey, music wasn't my first ambition. My first ambition was sports. You know, by way of basketball. That transitioned to college, and then from college, career stuff came, and then through family connections, like you were saying with your niece Vay, my family and friend connections is what brought me to music, and they just respected the way I was moving in terms of just having a mind and knack for entrepreneurship and business. And I kind of like had to learn everything. Everything was self-taught, so it was like a decade plus of just learning about the game and having experiences and going through the trial and error. But like you said, it all starts from respect, though. At the end of the day, we don't have to like each other. We don't have to see eye to eye. But if I respect the fact that your no is a no, then I'm gonna go find another way. If I respect the fact that your yes is a yes and it's a way for us to connect and do business, let's do it. But I just think the frustration that we see that comes on social media, the frustration that we see when people get on different platforms and that camera cut on and they get their moment of exposure, it just be a vent session of everybody that, you know what I'm saying, didn't subscribe or didn't support or didn't help. And it's like the biggest obstacle is that reflection in the mirror. At the
hmm
end of the day, you got to believe in yourself more than the next person that comes along to attach themselves to your situation. And like I
yeah,
said, with you having that ingenuity early, even though you got in the game a little older, but but still having that ingenuity, like, yo, before I do anything, let me get my bag right. Let me make sure I got a bag together to support this. And then even while you're doing it, still adding to that bag and keeping that
Mhm.
bag fluid and making that bag move and work for you.
Yep, and
And
definitely.
that's a big thing too, because people be wanting people to invest in them. And it's like, if you ain't even invested in yourself yet, how can you in good faith ask me to do it? And it's your dream. You know
That's
what I'm
it.
saying? It's
And
like, this is what you want to do.
I think what you not giving enough credit to the when people say crabs in a bucket, it's basically like putting a blanket over it. But what's really going on is a lack of opportunity. So where people are seeing a lack of opportunity now, it's a little better, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years later. But in 2014, 15, it looked like a bad place to be in Detroit hip hop. You even with Sada was just running around doing open mics pretty much. You got, I'm just saying back then it was like, dang, even the East Side guys, they would do a show in Ben Harbor, Flint, different little parts of the Midwest.
Yeah, but
But
they had a lot. But I've seen interviews with Peasy. I've seen interviews with Vez. I've seen interviews with Ray where they said like they had to step it up. They had to go hit South by Southwest. They had to
definitely,
go hire a publicist, or they had to
definitely,
go and
yep,
get their business credit established. Or in the case
yep,
of Vez and Peasy, they was like taking them a couple years off and sitting down, gave them an opportunity to revamp, re-strategize, and rethink their situation. So that's
yep,
what I'm saying. Like, I think with our climate getting broken through now, we had to catch up to the business side. I think the talent
definitely.
always been there,
Hmm.
and the resources and connections may or may not have always been there over time. But I think we had to get with the business. We had to be okay with, like you said, if somebody tell you to get this placed in this magazine, to get this placed on this blog, hey, it's gonna be 1,200, it's gonna be 1,500. We had to get our minds conditioned to be
To
like,
do
I'm
that
about to
thing. Yep.
send this money to somebody I don't know
Yep.
to put my stuff on this platform, because we used to hand. You know what I'm saying? We used to,
Yeah.
I could pull up, see you in person, same time, like on some Chris Tucker shit, same time
And
exchange.
you gotta be willing to you gotta have some type of risk aversion and you gotta be willing to put yourself out there. Cause I got a guy that I worked with and we set up a whole college tour. I had
Okay.
listen, it was a whole college tour, like 12, 13 dates for the colleges. I paid for the merchandise to be made, all of this stuff. And the PR lady ran with bands. I'm talking about bands, right? I never went to the internet and said nothing about it. I lost bands. And he was in such because me and him still to this day, he and I still okay. He do government contracting now. But we had such a good relationship that I told him, man, that's on me. He taught me so much. He was like my first music consultant. So he had taught me so much that I was like, bro, you didn't help me out so much. Help me start my label. He helped me get the JP1 logo type. Like he helped me do so much that I was like, bro, I ain't even tripping. You've done so much for me for them couple dollars that I paid you before, bro. You take them few $1,000s and you set it on me. He like, no, jackpot. I'm at least give you half back. She ran on me. That was my bad judgment. I said, no, man, it's all good, bro. Don't sweat yourself about it. And moved on. I never had any problems with him because he didn't do anything slime ball to me, right? You know what I'm saying? It was a mistake, like you say, a lapse in judgment. And to this day, he and I partnered in something else, and we made money since I've been home. What people have to understand is, like you said at the beginning, man, and I said it in Living Life, and I even made a post about it the other day. It's 90% business, 10% music. When people understand that, you have people that don't want writers in the studio with them. You want people that argue about ghostwriter. Drake is the biggest artist in the world, and he has a ghostwriter. And he has multiple ghostwriters. Chris Brown is the biggest pop sensation in the world right now, and he has a team of writers and producers. We have to understand that in order to have a good product, and this is a problem I have with even some of the bigger names out of the city right now, they are putting out subpar music is you're getting these looks and they could be bigger if you come sit down with the right people, put a dope project together, get a dope, get some heat together, and they're getting better. But that was something that I was big on is like, let's make sure the project is good, and that way you comfortable marketing. Most of the music now is out on Friday, they forgot about it by next Friday. Is pretty much it. Nobody has dropped, like, I'm telling you, the only person that's here, I'm just being honest, that I feel like I listen to, and it may be partial because this my guy is Bodie. And I text Bodie, like I text him the last album he put out, I say, nigga, you tripping. This bitch heat. You know what I'm saying? He good looking, bro.
Yeah,
I,
I slid through the joint, the listening session. That's fam on this side too. Shout out to Bojack.
he understand music, and people could be, oh man, he rap boring. He put together good music. He's working with producers that fit his sound sonically. The only thing with Bodie is I don't like when he try to do trap music. I feel like, yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that. I be like, Bo, just do your thing, bro. You own a lane, own your lane. But is Detroit making you feel like you got to rap on a Detroit beat? Detroit make you
No,
feel like
I think because Bodie, so this the weird thing with him, and I don't want to stay on that too long, but he talk all of the street shit that they talk and talk it way better
than
and
them. Definitely,
got all of the experience to back it up. But the
definitely.
production is an acquired taste. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So it's like the same thing with the Griselda movement. You know what I'm saying? It's an acquired taste. It take a while to get into it, but I think he's the hybrid. You know, he's the perfect example of a hybrid
hmm,
that get accepted by the hip hop side, and the street guys also like
yeah.
him too. We don't have too many hybrids in the
Not
city.
really at all. Even like
And
Royce, Royce lyrically out cold, but the Detroit, man, we don't listen to Royce, we don't,
that's what
you
I'm
know, the
saying.
hood dudes, yeah,
It's kind of hard to get both sides
yeah,
unanimously. Because like I
yeah,
said, when you like he be polying with Sada, he poly with all of them. You know what I'm saying? And he be with the hip hop niggas too. He be like
yeah, yeah,
right smack in the middle. But like I said, I ain't gonna hold you long, man. Like my main thing was I just wanted to have this conversation with you
definitely,
publicly because I feel like we both are in a good position to be able, like I said, to share that no matter what side you on, it's your ascension and your progression is on you. Just simple and plain. Like
definitely,
if you pushing a platform and you feel like the platform not getting the recognition that you feel it deserve,
yeah,
look at what you're doing. You maybe have to regroup some of the marketing. You may have to regroup who you inviting on your platform that you showcasing. And you might got to bring people on your platform that's going to reciprocate the opportunity.
yep,
And from the artist side of it, you know, as you ascend on different platforms, it's okay to, you know what I'm saying, acknowledge, shout out, you know, show love to whoever show love to you. But at
yep.
the same time, you're the driving force behind what you're doing. Keep
But
invested in yourself, keep moving.
yeah, the with what you saying, some of it is like branding. So even like with with Mo situation and different people with platforms, you feel like you keeping it real, but you bringing no names on there. People feel like you got a no name show. You feel like I'm just saying that's just how people take it, right? You feel like, man, I'm giving everybody an opportunity, and the people that's on the outside looking in is like, man, he just be having everybody on there. So you got to be conscious of your brand. That's just, it just is what it is, right? So it's the same thing with me and my business, man. I'm telling you, I got a white coach, bro. This dude, oh man, I posted him like last week. He like 70, but he a multimillionaire, and he said, JP, you doing great. You talking to the wrong people. And that's all he had. He didn't have to go into too much detail. He didn't have to overextend the conversation. He was like, look, what you got going on is out cold, but you selling to the wrong people. It's gonna look, they're never gonna value what you're doing and what you're saying. So it's the same concept with the platforms. If you want your platform to be next level, you gonna have to invest in something. Get some different type of guests in there. You may have to pay some people to come on your platform to give you the looks that you want. It's just same way as being an artist. It's the same way as being an artist. You think it's just like a lady. If you meet a nice young lady and you like, dang, baby, you woo woo, then you start seeing X's and like, hold on, dog, is that the dude that work at you used to talk to him? Now your value of her just dropping. You like, hold on, you gave everybody a shot. And that's how it's looking with the platforms. If you gotta, even when I do this with entrepreneurs, I don't want people on my show that's, yeah, I was thinking about starting a business. Like, no, when I get people on there, it's people like Brandon Smith who been around. Star Factory been around. I want to talk to you about something that you actually built. I'm gonna get Samaya Carter on here. She has Love and Digitals, which she does obituaries. She's made probably millions of dollars in selling obituaries,
That's what's up.
right? I'm just saying you kind of wanna, yeah, you cool, but you just getting started. You not what I want to talk to yet. You know what I'm saying? People don't want to hear that, but this is the problem. I'm telling you, even with the
Yeah, because
city,
it, it
it's
sound
just
it
like what
sound
you
it sound like you spinning them. Or back in the day, you
no.
go to the
Mm-mm,
the open mic joint and you ain't had your
mm-mm.
buzz up yet. Niggas a frisbee your shit. Just whoop.
No, that's me. I'm telling you, I was that guy. If I did a show and you sent me, hey man, I want to jump on your show, I'm going through and saying, okay. Even when I did show, man, I did a show in Grand Rapids, man. I took Cash Kid out there and RJ Lamont, and we did like a statewide or something out there. Was that maybe that show wasn't the statewide, but we did a statewide show, bro. I literally handpicked these people.
Got you.
You see what I'm saying? When I say handpicked, I made sure they was dope. I tried to watch show performance if they had it. Like I literally handpicked this show. It's people who would tell you, like, dog, that was like one of the best shows. People still compliment me on that, like, dog, that show. But why not? Why people act like you're wrong for having a standard just so they can dog you because you got a standard?
Right. Right.
That's the problem, Scar. When it all come down to it, the basis of this conversation is setting a standard.
Yeah, I just
You're
want to see people. I just want to see people turn up, man. I feel like we got the light on us as a city and a culture right now, and now more than ever, if you just put yourself in the focused path, you can pretty much accomplish whatever you want to accomplish. So
yeah.
I just say less verbal, more work. That's the motto of the
Yeah,
day.
but you gonna try to avoid having that standard, Scar. You gonna try to you got a good standard of music, but you ain't gonna want to hurt people's feelings. We need you to hurt people's feelings.
Talk about me.
Yes, you understand music, Scar, but you gonna be political about it. You go. That's why everybody would think they got it. So you have
I
a
mean,
good
okay,
taste in
so
music.
if you want the clean cut side, then yes, you got to quality control your shit. So
That's it.
if you recording at the crib, there's no
Yeah,
shame in spending some money with one of these studios around here and getting some professional mixing and
mixing and
mastering
mastering. Yep.
to make sure that your music is at a quality standard. If you're not sure about who to call, it's okay to hire Coach JP or whoever P&R, whoever PR or
Hmm.
service company to help get your stuff going and
Yep.
getting you right in front of the right folks. But the key thing is, like I said, you got to be willing to spend that
Gotta
money.
be
And I
willing to
think
invest.
that's where it get weird because a lot of people are looking for music to save them, unfortunately, from personal life decisions. And that's a
So
whole nother can of worms because in your lifetime you may or may not have gotten that W in the
yeah,
personal atmosphere. So you trying to get it all in music, and then you put all this pressure on the music side, and it's like, yo, like you living and dying with every opportunity, and you supposed to have other things going on for yourself to support yourself while you waiting for the music shit to take off. So it be people crashing out. You tell that person, you can't rock. This person liable to go and off themselves because they whole joint is
was
riding on the music. Like you just don't know what people be going through. You know what I'm saying? You
definitely.
don't know what people
So
be having going on.
I got a question for you, Scar. So
Kick.
let's say you got you got an artist, they approach you and they say
Mhm.
they got it. Like let's just say they got it. They dope performing, the music sound good, and you what are you doing to if they say, man, I need some management. I ain't saying what's your actual steps at management. I'm saying what else are you looking for other than they got it.
What type of budget they can put up? You know what I'm saying? Because at
Mhm.
this stage, for me, I've been a manager who's also been an investor too. So for most of the artists that I've worked with closely, I've either matched them dollar for dollar or I put up a bulk of the amount of the money because I believed in them that way. So, like I said, I'm a decade plus. I'm almost at 15 years with this. So, at this point, and the stage I am, just in my personal life, I got a daughter that's in college. I got another one right behind her. So, college tuition on my mind right now. I'm a lot closer to retirement than I was when I started this 10 to 15 years ago. So, I'm thinking about the lifestyle I want to have as a retiree. So, it's just like things like that. I'm not willing to take the same risk that I was willing to take in my 20s and in my early 30s. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I'll be 40 next year. So it's just
Mhm.
like I said, I'm looking, if I grind the way I want to grind the next decade, I'm looking at, okay, in my 50s, I can get out, travel the world, live my life. Like I don't want to still be working like I'm working in my 40s and my 50s. You know what I'm saying? I want to be able to get out and do my thing. It's like you got to set yourself up now. You can't wait till you get there to set yourself up. Like I be seeing some of your videos when you just be dropping like those life gems and you be talking about having a plan and writing stuff down and making sure you visualizing what you're trying to do. I've been doing that most of my life in my own way. So it's like for an artist, that's what I need to hear. Like I don't
Mhm.
just need to hear talent. I need to hear like, yo, I got this going already. You know what I'm saying? I'm already back and forth to LA or I'm already back and forth to New York. I got some traction here. I got some motion here. I'm in the studio. I got this many songs catalog. Like what you coming to the table with, that'll probably pique my interest. And even with that, I'm gonna try to pass you along because, like I said, for that part, like the artist management side, I'm not necessarily in high interest on that right now. If anything, I'll pass you on to somebody I know. Now, if it's a resource thing, which I feel like is kind of what you want too, if you need access to a studio or access to a videographer or just some basic business startup type stuff, then yeah, I can sit down and help you get together with something like that because that's a one-off situation. But
Yeah.
right now, I ain't trying to dedicate that time and energy. Like, that's all going to the family right now.
I definitely understand it, and I feel like we kind of in the same space. People always ask, and I haven't talked to Floss. I haven't talked to Floss in a year or so, maybe. But even somebody like Floss, right? He got a good attitude. Like I talked to him about the Nisha thing, everything. Like he got a great attitude, and he like, look, I took a bruise over here. I'm back moving. You know what I'm saying? And that's cool. But with me, I look at it as, look, man, if I'm not gonna make some kind of legacy or something, like it'd have to be Alicia Keys to make me want to manage her. Like it, I'm just telling you, bro. If I'm not, if I'm telling you, bro, if it has to be, I'm telling you, bro, it have to be Alicia. It has to be somebody
I'm
for
not. I'm
somebody.
not. I'm not. I'm not gonna say that. For me,
Man,
it's like having being a manager. The only thing I can equate it to is like being a parent because you so much ingrained
hmm,
in a person's life. It's so
yep,
much that comes with that, and everybody for the most part that I've ever managed, to this day, we still on good money. We still on good terms. Um, I'm still behind the scenes supporting a couple of them, doing what I can to help out to make sure they straight. But my main thing is, even with those people, I know how much time and gain and just understanding that was invested. I want to see some of that kind of manifest in a positive way with them kind of doing their own thing and applying it. Like even that would excite me. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like just pause on that a little bit too. But even that would excite me just to see
yeah,
them,
do so.
execute on
Yeah,
their potential because I know where they can go. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
when I think about Javon back in the day, K Vizu, when we came together, like I know what that was at that time. Had we been able to execute fully on that time,
everything. Yeah,
because he had the cute kid thing going on. Pause. You know what I'm saying? He was
yeah,
young, he was innocent. It was right in that blog era type situation where you could be yourself, you could be unique, you could be,
yeah.
awkward, different. And that's kind of what I was running with that. And then even here recently with Dot and Chaz together or separate, they both have a different aesthetic that they bring, and they both have a different fight.
Hmm.
Chaz, in my opinion, the fight is he's been everybody's wingman,
Yeah,
everybody's partner, everybody's friend. And there's nothing wrong with that, but Chaz equally is dope in his own right and deserves his
definitely.
moment to stand as an individual. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of what he may got coming up whenever he decides to step back out is going to be about him planting his flag for himself because he came from a group situation. You know what I'm saying? Before that, family situation, a lot of family entertainers in his family.
Hmm.
So he kind of always been the little brother. You know what I'm saying? So it's now time for the little brother to be the big brother.
Hmm.
In the case of Dot, just being a female in the industry and just all that come with being a female in the industry. And unfortunately, having some moments stolen at different points. Unfortunately, timing, you know what I'm saying? She came in a little later as far as having opportunities and being connected to certain resources. It came a little later versus coming early in her career. So the window may feel like it's closing a little bit, but I tell her all the time, like, make the most of what you have. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
Like, you whatever comes your way, just maximize it. You know what I'm saying? Get as many eyes on it as you can. You know,
definitely,
blow it up as big as you can, and then that opportunity will take you to your next one. So it's like everybody just got to walk their own journey. Everybody journey different. You know what I'm saying? You get caught trying to compare your journey to the next person to the left or right,
yep,
you get lost because the grass may look greener, but you don't know what their water bill look like. You don't know what they got to go through to keep that grass maintained the way they got it maintained. You know what I'm saying? You don't
definitely,
know what they paying for the landscaping. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what's going on. Like you just it look like they got everything together, but it could be a whole bunch of other stuff going on that you probably wouldn't even want to do. You know what I'm saying? So it's just you got to stay focused on your lane.
definitely. You got some comments on here though. P
What's
dot P dot say I let it be known. I don't know at what point I didn't because the way that the software worked, the Facebook comments don't come through. I supposed to stayed on here, but
okay?
some DZ Anderson said facts.
What they
Um, DZ
saying?
DZ Anderson says that these artists don't even know about the ASCAP. I guess that's supposed to be ASCAP, BMI, DYI. They have no clue about how to get it right. He talking about publishing.
Okay, so
And,
let's. I got a good friend of mine that we talk about this all the time. So publishing,
mhm,
real quick, because this is this information is to be sold, not to be told. But real
yeah,
quick, ASCAP BMI is just one layer. Okay,
yep,
it's so many other organizations that you should have your music registered with,
yep,
especially in today's time, because a lot of
yep,
money is made from licensing. And so
yep,
when you're seeing all these conversations about people selling their publishing, selling their masters, it's around the concept of licensing. And so when you own your material, you can start a license, close a license. So for example, I use the example of like television content and movie content. So
mhm,
you ever notice how this is for whoever's watching? You may see a certain television program or movie. It'd be on Tubi, it'll be on Prime for a certain period, and then it'll go away off of there. And then if you cut your streaming TV on, it might show up on Hulu or somewhere else. That's licensing. That's what's going on. That the person who owns that content, they license it to that particular platform for a certain period of time. Once that deal is ran its course and they done made their money, they can relicense that same content to another platform, and then you run up a whole nother bag on that. So that's why the publishing thing is so big, and you got to build value in your catalog. That's the other thing too. Like you can't sell your masters or sell your publishing if it has no value. And the way that you build value in your catalog is through your promotion of your content and getting people to stream it at a high volume. So when you see somebody like Nelly, I think he sold a portion of his for like 50 million or something like that. Uh what's that song? Hiding Here. I don't care
mhm,
where you go in the country, international, you put Hot in Here at a wedding, bar mitzvah, niggas losing their shit. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just that type of record. It's old as shit, but it still resonate.
definitely.
And that's a situation where somebody may pick that up and do a commercial with it. So that's why you want to make sure your publishing and all that's intact. So shout out to the person that brought that up. But I just wanted to add to that, like, that's just a layer. That's like one of many layers that go into that. And I know a few people once they get their BMI ass cap, it's kind of like a low key flex. People want to post the check stubs or post the joints, and a person like me be like, okay, that's cool, but where's the sound exchange? Where's the MC? Where's the MLC?
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Where's the Harry Fox agency? Like, it's just so many other joints that go on with that, but it's like you got to let people, you know what I'm saying, have a moment because you got to post the wins at some point in time. But it's a lot more that go into that. You know what I'm saying? It's way, 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 way more
yeah.
that go into that.
I
I don't even
think
want to get in that rabbit hole because I
yeah.
don't want to go into it.
No,
But
no,
it's not
definitely.
for
And
debate.
I think that even with somebody who was it Sarah Appleby, she was kicking it with me yesterday, and she was like, she came to the first. I had a whole like my little music business.
Yeah, I remember you used to do the seminars.
I did a seminar, like a music business seminar or whatever, and she was like, "Dog, I learned so much just from that stuff though." But that came from me willing to learn. Like I wasn't just
Yeah.
running around rapping. I sat down. I still got it. I got the latest version of this business of music. I think it came out last year. Like I
Mm,
still sit and read and learn and stay on top of what I'm doing because of that. I got a check. I got a check for like $600 something dollars, maybe like 2, 3 weeks ago. I haven't used CD Baby in 10, 12 years. And when they sent me the email, I thought it was a scam. I said, I don't even use y'all. I don't even use y'all. I clicked it. I'm like, no, this is a real CD Baby login. I went in there and it was like, yeah, man, get your money. I sent it my PayPal. I was like, dang, I got CD Baby. I got a distribution deal through Symphonic Music. I've had that since 2015. So I'm like, dog, I don't use y'all. Why would y'all be sending me a check? Like, you know what I'm saying? But CD Baby sent me a check. And it was based off of somebody using some content, using some of my music on one of their content. I don't even know, bro. Like it was some
yeah,
content. And I'm like, dog, you
yeah,
just register the music the right way. Music will pay you.
yeah.
It wasn't from
I mean,
downloads or nothing. Somebody put it in a couple, it went viral somewhere. Like one of my songs went viral and people was like using it in the background type of thing. And it sent me a check. They sent me a check.
yeah. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not a the publishing thing is really not like a conversion. I think people it's like the caveman discovered fire, and once people start to like register their stuff, it's like, ooh, I got 20 coming in, I got 30 coming here. But if you really are networking to get placement for licensing, you can eat off that for a lifetime if that's really your business model and you just want to get
Mhm.
your song placed in television, placed in movies,
Yep.
placed on commercials. And I
Yeah.
saw something today with GMAC Cash.
Yeah.
Got the Pistons won again. He supposed to have a situation with FanDuel.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of been his thing. Like he been kind of like making songs behind moments. You know what I'm saying? And each time it's been a major moment in Detroit culture or Michigan culture, he be the first one to drop the song. And I don't know how he must got some type of connection to the universe or something because he be dropping shit like literally within
As
minutes.
it happened. Get Big Gretch them buffs. You like, dog, she just
Yeah,
put them on, bro. Like how you just make that song in 30 minutes. We got the Hollywood sign, bro. They still putting up the D. Like, how you get the sign? How you get the song done? He
like
out there while
dog.
they still doing construction.
Like that's what I'm saying about the hustle. Like I've
Yeah.
heard like I've been in a room where dog name been mentioned plenty of times, and you got people that like him, you got people that don't like him as far as his musical content and how he rap and what he put out. But you gotta respect dog hustle because every time it's a moment in the culture, he grab it. He be the
Yeah.
first one to get it. Like I remember when they was putting the sign up, he shot the video.
That's what I said.
They was it was still construction. Like it was
That's
still
what I'm
the
saying.
orange the orange joint was still around the joint. So like he got out there and made it happen. But
But it's
like
a
I
different
said,
attitude. With what you saying, it's a different attitude, and that's a whole nother story. Cause one of my guys, right? His name Chill Strong. He do
okay,
placements. He get placements regularly. If you on his page, you see his placements. But
yeah,
he's literally making music for placements. Like he make music like it's
yeah.
not a yeah,
What's the name? Do that too. Shout out Mark Cooper. You know, he got that
yeah,
whole uh Power
Power
Ranger.
Rangers and
He
stuff.
like
Yeah,
kind of like in that anime cartoon,
yeah,
but he make music. Like he do the scores for some of those projects that he be working on, and he get paid doing that.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's how Chill did.
He even teach at one of the schools in the areas. I bumped into him
Yeah,
on the 9 to 5 side when I was out recruiting, doing my thing on that side. I bumped into
yeah,
him at an educational event. And he's teaching music, so that's what I'm saying.
yeah,
Like being a professional
yeah.
in music is so many different things and levels you can
Yep.
do. But everybody want to be in front of that camera. That camera is addictive, man. Like
Yeah.
everybody want to be in front of that
Woodrow
camera.
Woodrow teaching music too. Shout out to Woodrow. I
Yeah,
love Woodrow.
yeah.
Woodrow is very talented from singing, rapping, producing, engineering. Woodrow talented,
Oh,
Nep
that's my brother.
talented. Yeah, it's certain people that you like, they got it. But I'm gonna tell you the city for people like Woodrow and Nep and different. I'm like, dude, they should be bigger. Like, you can have a certain taste with rap, but when you got somebody that can make Jamaican music and make, world pop and can do this. And you like, dude, what, like, what, why are they sleeping on this guy? Like, you know what I'm saying? And it's
And some of the
dope.
stuff, yeah, as I was saying, some of the stuff that we mentioned could be, some of the barriers. I don't know
Yeah,
because I ain't
yeah.
talked
Just
to
can't
Woodrow
talk.
in a minute. The last time we talked, it was about him reopening the studio, and I
Yeah,
had tried to put him in contact with a couple of people I knew who
yeah,
could help with that. But shout out to him anyway for getting the studio back open too. But like I said, I don't know all his barriers. But that's what I'm saying. Like
yeah,
a lot of the most consistent barrier I know for a fact be the bread. And you know what I'm
yeah,
saying? People got families, they got
yeah.
mortgages and rents to pay, and you get
Definitely.
in that juxtaposition of, do I pay my mortgage or rent, or do I go for broke and do
Yep,
my music? And I used to tell people all the time, I would never tell you to take the rent money. I would never tell you to take the utility money. But I used to always tell people that I work with, look at your habits. So if you a drinker, if you a smoker, if you a get fly type of person,
yep,
cut back on your habits. If you need to create a budget or need to create disposable income, look at your habits first and think about the things that you could cut back on to make room to do what you're doing in music. And that's kind of hard too, because we all got habits. You know what I'm
yep.
saying?
I was about to
People,
say that. They hate hearing that when you tell somebody, man, what you mean you don't got money for this? Don't you smoke $50 worth a day? They be like, man,
nigga,
people don't want to act like that's a habit.
I've
They want to act
look,
like they
look,
need
look,
that like
look,
water or food. Like, no, that's a
look.
habit.
I'm gonna tell you, bro. I've seen dudes literally like throughout my history with this shit. I've seen niggas rent boats, cars, $1,000 outfit, and then complain about paying the video guy $500-$600 for the video. Or
That's
they're
why I love.
showing cash. They're showing cash.
That's
And
it.
I'm talking about throwing money in the video.
That's how I ended up with Gifted and Talented as a label. Like I said, I started by any means, right? I didn't go, I never really said this publicly. But my partner at the time, he had more money than me in the streets. But I said, well, if he got, I literally set up one day and I said, because he had, well, they divorced, him and his lady not together now, but he basically bought his side piece a Rolex,
Okay.
like a $10,000 watch or something. He bought her like a Rolex. I don't care. They ain't got nothing to do with me. But it was like video time, and he was like skimping on the video and the World Star placement. I'm like, shit. Well, if you got 10,000 to spend on a watch, it
But
shouldn't
see,
be no
that's
problem
that.
paying five. And I'm saying for your side piece, not your main girl. I'm saying you doing something crazy over here. So look, when I thought about it, I literally set up one day. I was in the studio and I'm like, oh, what do you mean we not gonna shoot the video till 2 weeks or something? It was something. And I'm looking, I had a couple bands myself. I said, wow. And then I thought about it. I said, it's not the same commitment. If he got 100,000 and he only willing to spend two of it, if I only got 20 and I'm willing to spend 18 of it, I'm just keeping my bill money. I'm willing to go for broke. I literally
Listen,
went and got
listen.
Gifted and Talented that weekend and went and shot that video and put it on World Star.
I, listen. I'm gonna give a bit of transparency because you gave me a lot of transparency. I'm gonna give a tidbit of transparency. And shout out to my crew and all the people I work with. Shout out to the gang and the whole nine. I've worked security, private and public. Everybody know my daytime with Michigan State. I teach now. I teach entertainment law, so it's pretty much education all the way around now. I was an undertaker for a minute, picking up the deceased people, getting them to
Yeah,
the funeral homes. I've shipped, I've door dashed, I've thrown events.
yeah,
Like I've done a lot of different things to keep my team functioning, keep myself
yeah,
functioning when it comes to music. And that's one of the things that is a part of my mindset now. Is like I've always been somebody that I won't ask you to do something that I'm not willing to do myself. So if I'm asking you to go and dig in your pockets deeper, I'm gonna dig in my pockets deeper. You know what I'm saying? And I believe in you eat what you kill. So it's like if I'm willing to go and pick up a graveyard shift, an afternoon shift, overtime, whatever it takes to make sure that we make the budget and we make the do what we got to do
yep,
as the talent and as my partner, you got to be willing to do the same thing. And that's kind of the situation that I find myself in plenty of times is that to that point,
mhm,
commitment is different because you will work the regular 8 hour boy, but are you willing to work 10, 12 hours? Are
Yep.
you willing to work 14, 16 hours? Are you willing to not get fresh this week? Are you willing to miss a haircut this week?
Hmm.
Are
Yep.
you willing to not, go to Roof Chris this week? You know what I'm saying? Like these are the things that you can sacrifice to make sure you have and you make. And when you brought up with your man about the rollie, I learned that through trial and error. It get real weird when you having a conversation about habits and just personal decisions and how people spend their money because you can't tell another grown person, you know what I'm saying, what to do with their paper. Like it get
Definitely.
weird.
That's something I had to. I've made tough choices in my life, bro. Like, and even with that, that was something where I'm like, well, we had a conversation before, and he had did it about something else, maybe like 3 months before that. And I said, oh, we not gonna make this a pattern. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't feel bad, like, oh, I got my own money now. But it was like, dude, I mean, I still didn't have his money. I eventually got my bread all the way up, but at the time, it wasn't like I was balling. I just seen it as I'm willing to spend my last for this. And if you're not committed in the same way and fashion, then we gonna bump heads. I'm going there. You know what I'm saying? At the time, I could have afforded a Rolly. I didn't go buy a Rolly. I went and spent money on gifted and talented, putting out a project.
Same thing, bro.
You know what I'm
Man,
saying?
I've been blessed. Despite all the ups and downs, I've been extremely blessed.
Look,
But I could have 3, 4 cars sitting in the driveway if I
hey,
wanted to. I could have a house in West
definitely,
Bloomfield if I wanted to. But it's like sacrifices was made to try to
definitely.
play my hustle hand and bet on myself and do
Hmm.
what I got. And I'm just fortunate that it didn't cost me a great deal in terms of being in a place where I couldn't come back. You know what I'm saying,
I
financially. But
I do the
yeah,
same thing now. If people like with my business, people like something, I'm like, nah, bro. This year was the first year that I went and got funding for my business. I've spent and spent and spent and spent and spent, but I built my credit up. I built my business credit up, and I went and got business funding this year. And I did that because I didn't want to give people because like now I work with a funding partner. I didn't want to tell people to go get funding, and I hadn't experienced it
done it yourself.
myself. And you know what I'm saying? And people, they like my first business funding was like 20 grand in funding. Like they'll give you funding. Like they'll give you money as long as you set up your profile the right way. But with, like you say, you don't want to extend yourself too far because I was still figuring things out this year. And I probably would have blew 100,000 because I didn't have it figured out. Like now I'm more dialed in. I understand my numbers a little better. I know what work, what don't work. I'm a little better this year than I was ending last year. So I would probably do better with more money now. But at the time, I'm like, shoot, I'm gonna go try this. I'm gonna go put a look, put 2,500 over here. Let's see what that do. Let's see how these at. But with everything that, like, I can give guys numbers. I spent like 30 to 35,000 on gifted and talented, all street money. Like I spent 30,000, bro. I shot maybe 8 videos. I paid for Vlad. Like I said, I'm paying 2,000 here too, and that's not even getting into Fire and Brimstone 1 and 2, where I'm buying, where I'm on the road, where I'm paying for PR. I spent bread, bro. If you don't have a budget, and I told somebody this recently, if you don't have a budget, you need to get with someone who can afford you a budget. Y'all work out something, and I never talked about this publicly. I'm giving you a lot of information, Scar, because I know you understand. So one day I'm indicted. This 2016, I'm looking. I dropped Cinco off. He was in the Thrive by Five program, and I'm dropping Cinco off. I call Kid the producer. Kid is my guy. Like I love Kid, but I call Kid, and at this time I'm in the studio with Kid and Dahlia, like kind of regularly, and other people. It was a bunch of other people, but I call Kid 7:30 in the morning, 8 o'clock in the morning. I say, Kid, I need to meet with the labels. Mind you, I've turned down label deals. Like I've turned down meetings, not necessarily deals, but I've turned down meetings because I'm making street money. In my mind, if you're not gonna give me 100, 200, 300, 400,000 and some percent, I feel like that. I'm feeling like Nipsey. I'm like, dog, I'm making this street money. I'm not worried about no deal. I didn't turn down meetings. But I called Kid one day, and Kid, it's a guy, I don't know if you're familiar with Marty. It's a guy named Marty. He is Albanian, I believe. And me and Marty tight. But at the time, Marty was working with Atlantic. And when I say Kid made a phone call, bro, tripped me out. First, Marty was spinning me. Marty like, yeah, man, blah 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 woo, woo, woo. But this right after Fire and Brimstone 2 came out. So I got these good features. I got it's looking good. So he looking like, damn, my numbers going up. So Marty look on Spotify and he get to listen to some music. He was spinning me at first. It was like a Tuesday. He said, look, I'm going to New York on Friday. I'll meet with you guys Wednesday or Thursday of next week. This is how he played. Like, oh, he spinning me. Probably like 10 minutes later, he like, dog, this all your music, you did this by yourself? I'm like, yeah. He say, so you putting the music together, you getting the producers, you doing it. He like, and you putting the video. I'm like, yeah, I'm doing all this on my own. He said, let's meet tonight. Me, him, and Kid went to um we went to one of the big restaurants, but it was nice. We went to one of the big nice restaurants. Man, he probably changed my life that night. He basically told me everything you believe is a facade. Everything you believe is a facade. We believe, oh, these guys are starting these independent labels and they doing this. And he basically broke it down to me. He said, no, there are the same way people are buying music rights now, they've been buying music rights. It's just not been on the level that they doing it now. And it's not been publicized. So it was a few artists that he actually broke down to me who had it. But you have these like finance groups that have been investing in music behind the scenes for years. So they may
Mhm.
get with a label like Gifted and Talented and say, and this, I'm just being honest, this is what we worked out.
They call them venture capitalists.
That's what they are, venture capitalists. You understand because you understand the business. So you got these groups that they got these groups. They may have $100 million they want to invest. They see you making motion as an artist. They say, well, we can get this guy $1 million and the return gonna look like 10 million by the end of the year. And now your label, because this was how they proposed it to me, they never wanted me to say I had a deal. They want me to push Gifted and Talented. They're gonna come behind, throw the money into the situation, and I'm just gonna roll with it like I just been pushing Gifted and Talented. Right? It's all smoke and mirrors. So people are watching things happen on the internet. Even you see somebody like Nipsey, you see other people like Yo Gotti, bro. Yo Gotti has so much street money that you can't compare yourself to that. Well, these guys doing such and such. No, bro, he spent money. He bought himself out a $500,000 contract. Then you got somebody like Nipsey who went and got a deal, left the deal with the connections and the signing money and the music. He got a good starting point. He got a brother that's a hustler. If you can't hustle, you can't hustle. That means you can't hustle music. People look at what I did with music or my business now and think, oh man, he this and that. No, bro, what I do is I hustle. I came home with nothing, bro. I came home from the state joint with zero. I was up probably a half a mil when I got indicted. I came home with zero. A
Hey, I was
hustler,
there.
you know what I'm
I,
saying?
I was there. I
A
was there.
hustler gonna hustle, bro. I'm just telling people, if you don't have hustle, it's going to translate no matter where. The same way you just said you will work here, there, you gonna get your money from Ship, Uber. I do all of that today. I
Hmm?
do all of that today. I'm gonna go get my money. But you got people who
Hey,
have no drive, no hustle, and they think I'm gonna just go in the studio and la 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 la. That's cool, bro. That's cute. That was straight. But now you still gotta hustle.
man, I was so ill with it. We came off tour, bro, like 2, 3 summers ago. I was so ill and like just hustling. We came off tour. I wouldn't have worked the shift as soon as we get off the road. Threw my security uniform on and went
We
straight to work.
we got you
Cause I
gotta have
gotta,
that attitude though.
yeah, I gotta go get the money back that we just spent. You know what I'm saying? So it's just that's just what it was. Like I was
It take
fortunate.
money,
I was
man.
yeah, I was fortunate. I was able to break even on most of the money that I spent and was able to see a little bit of profit before it was all said and done. But like in my time, you know what I'm saying, it was 100K for me, like at peak, 100K
Yep.
for me.
I ain't
And
make
that's
my money back. I ain't even lying. People see me selling shirts and CDs and all that, bro. Listen, that don't
well,
equate to
I had some good moments, you know what I'm saying? The Underground Hip
yeah,
Hop Awards was a good run, so I was
yeah,
able to get a lot back during that
yeah,
time.
yeah,
Um I've been blessed, you know what I'm saying, and getting some good
yeah,
placements, with some marquee people on the publishing end, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying? So and then like some of the moves that I made with some of the artists I did, like we were smart about how we invested our money, you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
But overall, 15 years in the game, it cost me 100 grand, bro.
Yeah,
It's
it
like
costs
10,
money.
10 grand,
Yep.
10 grand a year, give or take. Cost
People
me a
don't
hundred
even get it.
grand.
I was and now
And
one
that's
thing
just
I
me. That's just me.
yeah,
That's not talking about my partners that invested with
definitely.
me down through the years. It's not talking about the artists and what they put up. That's just me on my own hustle, my own grind.
Listen, I one thing what I tell people, like even with the shows, the big shows, I've been on big shows. Like I did the Twister, Boosie them. That was a connection. Like, but that came from me spending money. So it's certain things and certain doors that opened up for me because I spent money that I could say that, things kind of leveled out because I have done shows to where I was on as a promoter. Like, you know what I'm saying? Where I've made money back. You know what I'm saying? So I have made some money, but I'm just saying overall, it I didn't
Yeah, you didn't get what you felt you was supposed to get.
yeah, I felt like even now I get little checks. I still get checks and stuff, but I feel like if I come back tomorrow, I'm coming back for what they owe me. I'm not coming when people talk about music, I'm not coming to do music to play with y'all. I'm on tip. Like I'm coming back like, hold on, I left something. Like for
Listen,
real.
no cap. If you talk to Dot, if you talk to Dot, you talk to Chaz, you talk to Javon, they'll all tell you the same thing. I'm on the same tip. Like if I come back outside, it's got to be a check already there because I got too much to offer, too much to do. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? And right now, it's just like I'm trying to. It's legacy at this point. I'm trying to
I
make
get it.
sure that the seeds are straight, the grandkids are straight. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just
Damn, Scarb, you got a grandkid?
no. I'm just saying. Like I want
Oh,
to be
I'm
like
about to say
my
I'm
when my
41. I got
daughters.
a grandkid.
No. When my daughters, have their children, I want to
Yeah,
be that
definitely.
picture. I want to be
Yeah,
that oil painting picture on the wall in the family crib.
pops
And it's
did
like
that.
we straight because granddad, put in that work. Like that's what I'm saying about legacy. I
I
want I
get it.
want to be in
I
that
get it.
position.
I get
Like
it.
that's the new dream now. You know what I'm saying? Is making
I
sure the
get it.
family's intact, bro. 'Cause that's the thing. Like you can't take none of this shit with you. So we bust our ass, get all this bullshit.
Yep.
You can't take that shit with you. Whether you cremate it or in the casket, you can't take that
Yep.
shit with you.
Hey,
So
everybody better get life insurance. I doubled mine this summer. I doubled mine and my ladies. I doubled it. I swear. These boys terrible. I start seeing what they I swear I did. I doubled it. She told my baby, you making me nervous. I said, nah. I doubled it. I wasn't playing. So I said, nope. We going. I need
even
all
that,
that.
even that, you'll be amazed,
Mm,
bro. It's people. I've had those conversations dealing with people like they don't have health insurance, they don't have life insurance.
mhm.
They don't understand how important these things are, man. You know what I'm saying? And something happened to you, how your people gonna take care of your affairs, how your people gonna handle it
Most
for you.
definitely. And if y'all looking for an agent, I can hook y'all up with an agent. I got all of mine packaged. I got insurance for the house, the cars, life insurance. I got everything in the package, and it's affordable, y'all. Y'all deserve to make sure your children not selling dinners for you if something tragic happened. For real. For real,
Not,
man. And it's not that
not,
expensive
not,
though.
not selling the church dinners, dog.
And it's not that expensive. It's just like what we talked about with the habits. It's probably 1 or 2 days of your smoking, and your kids could have a $500,000, $250,000 life insurance policy, but y'all don't want to hear me. You know what I'm saying? Like, do the right thing, man. For
For
real.
sure, man. It was a pleasure as always, man.
Most definitely.
It's a pleasure, bro. I
All the
look forward
time.
to kicking it with you soon, man. Tell Nep I said what up, though, man. And
Yeah,
to
no,
whoever was watching, chimed in. Much love to the city, man. I love my city. I just
definitely.
want to see my city win. I want to see people, pop their shit, do their thing. But much love to everybody. You know what I'm
Most
saying?
definitely. I'm gonna get you these clips, man. Give me a couple days. I got a VA. People work for me now. I feel great. Little stuff I used to do for real, bro. I mean, he texting me now. I'm about to send him this video. Like, man, clip this video up, man. Let me clip
Oh
this
no, do
video.
your thing. This is fun for me, man. This is anytime it's an opportunity, like I said, to just share information and be a
Most
help and
definitely.
a resource. That's what I'm about, man. I'm about positivity, brother.
Most definitely. I appreciate you, y'all. I got an interview coming with Somalia Carter, as I mentioned earlier. She owns Love and Digital, and we are going to continue this with people like Scarb. Some of them will be live, some of them will be recorded. Me and Scarb wanted to go live though. It's like a more natural thing. But thank y'all for tuning in. Scarb, tell them. Oh, you got it. Grindlife 313. I see it.
That's the social handle, but
Yeah.
ASR Consulting, Ground Life 313, B-Scarb, Brandon Scarber, any one of those you Google, my joints will pop up, but I'm not hard to find.
That's what's up, y'all. Y'all know where I'm at. Chosen one jackpot on everything, y'all. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all day.
All right, one.